when you're coaching and dealing with a client, there's a couple of different ways that you need to deal with their problems. The ways that I recommend most coaches start to look at are physiological, nervous system or emotional regulation, and also behavioral. All three of these factors will influence how a client actually feels things and the problems that they will experience. And a lot of coaches will only address one or two of these. So let's use the example of anxiety for a moment. So a lot of clients experience anxiety. It's totally normal. And a lot of people ignore the physiological aspect of anxiety. So by that, they'll say that nutrition has no impact. Yet if you actually get the client to record their nutrition and put a scale of how anxious they are after certain meals, you'll find that some meals are actually much better suited to reducing anxiety than others. The reason for that is it's because of that client's particular physiological makeup. Now, from here, you can look at behavioral things that they're going to do it. So what are the behaviors that help them avoid anxiety? What are the behaviors that promote anxiety? And then also from an emotional regulation, how are they at actually noticing what they're feeling and dealing with what they're feeling? And this is something that you can do with a food journal. Now, a lot of trainers will hear this and they'll go, oh, that's outside my scope of practice. You're not diagnosing, you're not treating anything. You're just simply trying to find the client, help the client find some tools that will help them deal with their own issues, their own physiological and psychological issues, in a way that they get feedback immediately from what's happening, in a way that they can then get a really good outcome for that particular person. So if you're a trainer, you need to start understanding your physiology. To be an awesome trainer, you need to understand physiology. You need to understand nervous system and emotional regulation and how that impacts people. And then you also need to understand behavioral stuff. So an example of that, a study came out today that people who are chronically dehydrated have a much higher cortisol secretion in response to stress. So your physiology will impact how you deal with your psychology. So as a trainer, we have an ability to impact that in a huge way that isn't outside the scope of practice. And by doing this, it allows you to be really good at your craft, which allows you to stand out amongst peers and also charge more money. So if you want to make more money, maybe focus on not only doing a ton of content and focusing on all that, but at the same time, focus on becoming really fucking good at what you do.